Right then, shall we go? Welcome to episode 5 of Get Back to Your Day Jobs, remote version. I've got Gibbo and you are in York.
I am indeed. I didn't know we'd started.
Well, the claps are the sign we've started, so I'll just turn you up a little bit. What?
Oh well.
Right, so here we go. How are you?
I'm alright, how are you?
Not too bad. This is my home office, so I spend most of my life sat here, so I've got everything I need. So,
And I gather that you're like, if I wave, you're there.
not quite, but right, no, the other way. No, this way, but not quite. There, that's perfect. Hello, hiya. So, I have got an agenda on a piece of, it's not on a piece of paper this time, it's in my head. So I thought we'd just go through the, I'll turn to the camera. I thought we'd just go through the usual. So comings and goings.
What do you mean comings and goings?
On the playing side.
Has everyone not just gone?
Well, yes they have, but well, not everyone.
Not in a bad way.
Not everyone. Not everyone. Well, okay, so the season is over. It is null and void. First of all, what do you make of that?
I mean, personally, I'm not bothered. But if we were one of the teams at the top, then you would be bothered, wouldn't you?
You would be, yeah. The teams at the tops of leagues are the ones who are the most vocal, and understandably so.
And I know they're the ones with the money that can pursue it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess so. I don't know, like Lower Breck in the North West Counties, have they got money or are they just a good side? I don't know.
They're just scouts, aren't they? They like to bowl. Sorry, I'm going to behave now.
You'll be in trouble. So yeah, the season's over, and it didn't make much of a difference for us, did it? Points per game are null and void.
Now, I know people will be like, Stafford are going to be dead happy. But then you think, if we always say we won't talk about it, if we put our Bolton Wanderers hats on, and having watched Bolton for the season, I'd rather Bolton just went down, because I can't be doing with another season being rock bottom.
Yes, indeed. But
there's also that way of looking at it.
From a Stafford Rangers perspective, things change very fast in football at this level, don't they? They could have a completely different season next year. With a couple of decent signings and a new manager. I think have they changed the manager? Are they changing the manager? They could be mid-table. They could be mid-table. But up at the top, yeah, you've got to feel for South Shields, haven't you?
Yeah, but I should have got my prop.
What prop have you got? Oh, South Shields Cup.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I've got one.
Drinking out of it in the kitchen.
Have you? Well, I am drinking out of a cup from the festival in Portugal last year. Same thing though.
I thought when we do this, I'm going to drink out my South Shields cup.
I've got an absolutely perfect one that I found on the coach on the way back. Someone brought it back and forgot it. So
this is how diseases get past Carl.
I washed it very well. Because I have soap and disinfectants and stuff that you can't buy in the shops anymore. I have got stuff like that. So the season is over. The really strange thing is we were gearing up, weren't we, for a very, very busy April.
We were. Were we looking forward to it?
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, it is Friday evening. Last night we would have been at Scarborough away. I don't know why I'm looking at it.
I'd have been here anyway.
Yeah, you would.
Was this when I was planning to do Scarborough, stay in York, and then go to Mickleover tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh.
You've missed out on that. But I'd been getting home at 1 o'clock last night. I'd have dragged myself to work today. I'd be half asleep now. And I'd be charging up batteries with a view to... I don't even know where Mickleover is. So we'll find out next season. Yeah, so we didn't get to play our final league game of the season. Some games did get played on that final Saturday. But the Stafford Rangers called the game off, didn't they? Because of a coronavirus scare, which is fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it was one of those, like, oh, we're actually going to get a game in.
Yeah.
But then, as it went on and on during that day, everything changed.
It changed very quickly, didn't it?
Because did you know that Matt Hancock is actually the kit man at Stafford and they had no kit to play in?
Really?
No.
I have heard one or two things, but like the rest of this season, I'm going to take it as we've learned a massive amount, haven't we, about this league.
It's like a dummy run.
Yeah. And we're fully fired up and geared up for having a proper go at it next season, because I think at the start of the season, we've said it before, haven't we? We weren't ready to go. We started the first game of the season. I think Ollie Roberts played up front. He certainly did at Lancaster.
I think in the past we'd always approached the season just like, oh, we're just going to continue playing the way we have played. And I think we came to a point getting into the Premier Division that you can't continue playing the way that we played in the North West Counties in Division 1 and survive in the Premier Division. So I think we did have to come up with a new way, not necessarily a new way of playing, but we had to think a lot more about how our opponents would set up and then try and either counteract that or go for a completely different approach. And it took a while to get going at the start of the season, didn't it?
It did, but and then we had the management situation, and it felt like we had got going again, didn't it? With that game against Grantham, it felt like we were back and raring to go.
Win against Grantham, and then you think, right, we got Stafford next week, and I was kind of like, we've got all these games in hand, and we're settled again now. We'll be fine. And obviously, everything stopped after that. So it depends which players we've got at the start of next season.
Well, I spoke to Brad, and it will be mainly as we were, I think. Obviously, it evolves, doesn't it? It's evolved every month of the playing staff changes, and it will change again, but it won't be a radical new lineup. I think it's going to be a lot of the players that we're familiar with. I mean, which will be good.
Based on contracted players, I thought, well, the back four is going to look pretty much the same, regardless of who's there.
Yeah.
Next season, obviously, Grimmy's gone, hasn't he?
So should we cover that? So outgoings. First of all, no sooner we announced Chris Holt had arrived than Chris Holt departed once again to Runcorn Linnets. And I think you said it yourself that Chris Holt wants to play every week.
Yeah, and I said it on that podcast, didn't I?
You did.
We weren't expecting him to then go and get minutes every single week.
Yeah. So he did go at that point. And Elliot Rocker came in. That shocked me. Did it surprise you?
Yeah. Because I went to Runcorn Town versus Radcliffe earlier this season, and I just shouted abuse at him all evening.
Well, for people who don't know, Elliot Rocker did inspire the Atherton Crumble t-shirts.
He did. He's up there with Cole Lonsdale. Like, this podcast could have been called Crumble.
It could. But once they join your team and they're on your side, it's a completely different ball game, isn't it?
I didn't see him play for the club. I've not seen him in a black and white shirt.
He didn't play.
But it could turn out he's with us for the next 2 seasons, and then I get on really well with him. But at the moment,
you and him are going to be doing shots at the bar by Christmas time.
Well, that's another thing. That Radcliffe team. Do you remember when they beat us? And
yes,
Sunday, and I think Elliot Rocker was stood at our bar buying shots, and we didn't have a trace. They were using iPads. That is big time mentality.
Yes.
How dare they come and use iPads as tricks?
Do you know, I felt on that day that Radcliffe Borough, not Radcliffe, they steamrolled us off the pitch with stuff like that, and it was a massive learning curve.
What do you mean?
They just rolled up, beat us, and rolled out with 3 points, and in style. It was just a air of confidence about them, even though they were playing the top of the league team.
Confidence or arrogance?
A bit of both, maybe. A bit of both.
I think if they wouldn't have come across that way, I don't know if we'd have carried on in the manner we did. We really wanted to beat them after that. We really wanted that league title. I think if they'd have gone about it quietly, I don't think we'd have won the league by, was it 7 points?
7, yeah.
I think it would have been a lot closer, but because of players like Elliot Rocker, they spurred us on to do even better.
Yeah, so I guess we can thank them for that, for their party. I think Cleggy might possibly disagree because he was hell bent on, wasn't he? That was.
But we all were.
Yes, we were.
Fans, everybody was hell bent on.
Yes, we were.
After Radcliffe, after that game.
Yes, we were. So welcome to Elliot, and we look forward to having some shots off an iPad with him at some point in the future. Oh, I don't know, my camera's just made a funny noise, but that's okay. Yeah, well, I'm trying filming on the DSLR as well to see if it works. But Grimmy and Shills have announced that they are leaving, and sad to see them go.
Yeah, both of them. I mean, Grimmy, he's been there for years before Cleggy came in, and then Sherlock too. When he did leave, like we signed him from Nelson, and then he did really well, and then he left into when we got promoted.
Yeah.
Was it promotion from the North West Counties?
I think it was, yeah.
Northern Fem, and he went to Charnock Richard.
Yeah.
I think he went to both.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time thinking, but why? He's brilliant, and he could go anywhere. You can always rely on him. And he came back, didn't he? And he did a cracking job again. He
did. He's played in every position. Because when he first joined, I thought he was a forward. But it's like this, number 10 or whatever role dropped off bats, I think. But then he's played right back. He's played midfield. He's played in the goal. What a club man.
Oh, he's brilliant.
And Grimmy's played in those positions as well.
Yeah. So, and Grimmy as well was... What was he? Was he manager or joint manager that night at Ashton?
I think he was the manager.
Yeah, so played everywhere, and he's been the manager too.
Yeah, and Grimmy will stay in football, won't he? In that sort of.
I mean, if you look on Twitter, he's very into his tactics and
he is
setting things up, and. I mean, I was trying to get my head around them because they pop up on my Twitter feed. I'm like, what? Because it's all little.
Yeah.
And I said, but what if that bit doesn't happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
That's what I think. It's like, what happens if they just counteract that?
Yeah. But no, he's well into his shapes and setting up, and it's probably, I assume, going to be something that he researches further now.
Yeah, he spoke very well after the game, didn't he, as well? So he does come across, for a quiet lad, he does then come across very well. So.
He's the kind of person who can observe a match, just chill out, and I don't think the last we see of Grimmy.
No, I don't. I expect he'll move on into management or coaching at some point and have a successful future. But Sherlock and Grimmy, we might see them back at the club at some point as well.
Yes, Sherlock went on loan to Colne, didn't he?
He did.
To be honest, I don't know how he did at Colne. But if that's where he is next season, then I'll probably get down and see him at some point.
Did you see that Cunny has stood down at Colne? So this means more, doesn't it?
It felt like when it came through. I've only just clicked that you used the tags that they use.
What means more? It doesn't mean more to what this means to me. It can't do. So, yeah. Apart from that,
but Liverpool do it, and it's arrogant. But getting away from that, when it came out this morning that Cunny had stepped down at Colin after 6 years, it felt like it was another one of those established kind of things at a club that had gone a bit like when Cleggy left us. It's like, wow.
That's what I thought was the clock went back to that text I got when Cleggy's leaving, and like, how the heck do you handle this? It's easier in the close season, isn't it? In this, the climate we're in.
I don't. Is it though?
It's very difficult to build back up. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
You've got players, everybody can access them, and if it's just you in the market for players at that time, then
that's a very good point. I think we'll see, because Cone weren't flying last season, were they? So we'll see. Well, the season's null and void now. So, since the last episode, we have played 3 games. So should we quickly cover those? Staley Bridge. Did you? Staley Bridge Celtic away was a funny one, because it was away. It was our home game, and it got switched, and they made a bit of a big deal of the fact that it was our home game, and it wasn't. So, and we beat them again for the third time.
No, I think we were all very happy to win that one after things that have been going on off the field, which we won't get into.
No.
Because it's not for public consumption. It's happened now, but things won't be forgotten between the two clubs, I don't think.
Not just them. To be fair, there's a lot of things that won't be forgotten from this season that we use as motivation. So
definitely.
So that's good.
Because when we were in lower divisions, we always had those rivalries against clubs. And we've not really had any this season, because we've got nothing to go off historically.
No.
And we've not really got local rivals in this league.
It was very good of Simon Howarth to give us that. And bring it on next season if he's still there.
Oh, I forgot about his tweets.
Yeah, well, if we play them in August, our pitch won't be fit anyway, so that's the kind of comment that comes back to bite you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we beat them resoundingly. Danny O'Brien is somebody you've known for a long, long time. Did you know he could play at sort of right wing back?
I've never seen him play at the back. No, I've seen him play on the wing and up front when we were growing up. But no, never at the back. But then you look at your modern day.
Yeah.
Don't know why I'm holding a Kinder Egg thing. Modern day right backs who are good at overlapping runs, and it just seemed to. It was it's happened, and you're like, oh yeah, why did we not think of that before?
He was absolutely devastating. He was fantastic. So possibly we see Danny O'Brien there again.
I hope so, because I think it's fair to say, and I think he'll agree with me, he hasn't had a settled time in football as such yet. I think he's been to different clubs every year, always been out on loan to other clubs. So it'd be nice for him to do a full pre-season, if we get whenever that may be.
Yeah.
And get into the season just knowing what he's doing.
I think that given the career he's had and the clubs he's been at, in this division, people should be looking at him and going, who the hell is that? How good is he? And I don't think, apart from the odd glimpse, I don't think we've seen that, have we, of Danny O'Brien tearing it up. And I think he could do.
No, I don't think we have that. I don't think we've seen the best of him. But if you do look at the clubs he's been at, if we were looking at another club, say, oh wow, look at the clubs that he's been at, and it doesn't seem to happen with Danny yet. But I hope in the next season, then that said being settled, and because there was one point he went on loan to Chester and Wrexham in the same season.
Wow.
Then that's the complete polar opposite of being settled, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I bet there's not many players who've played for both those clubs.
No, I bet he's one of the most hated people in Chester and Wrexham.
Well, it's probably illegal to shoot him with a crossbow. So the next game was your finest moment, dare I say, at the club, the lottery winners Grantham Town game. It was a victory.
But yeah, all that effort, and I wasn't there. But I heard it went really, really well. Looking at the picture and the updates, I was dead happy with what we'd all managed to pull off.
It was fantastic, and everyone bought into it, which was a brilliant thing. And we played really, really well. We scored quite early on, and I thought Grantham were really, really poor as well. Not as well as us being really good. I think we'd have gone there last week, was it? I think we'd have gone there really, really confident of beating them. So yeah, and then the gig after the game was a triumph. A lot of people came to the club who probably never even knew where Atherton was, and had a great time. The band were.
You know, it's just really good, just trying to do something different.
Yeah.
We hit triple figures for shirts sold.
Wow.
So yeah, the production of them is currently on hold because of everything that's going on.
Yeah, understandably.
Yeah, but no, we sold triple figures of shirts, which I didn't think we'd do. And I can't wait to see them out at the different gigs and stuff they're doing, and hopefully festivals too.
Yeah, that'd be right. If festivals happen.
Well, yeah, I'm booked up for Kendall Calling this year. And if it does happen, then I will be going in my pink shirt. Yes. And I think Joe, the drummer, was going to wear his pink shirt at the Ritz gig, which was meant to happen at the weekend.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff that we've got booked, like Neighbourhood Weekend and whatever, will get moved to September, won't it? So
yeah, it's been moved on to September.
Yeah, so I might not be around much in September. So we've got festivals and gigs and stuff to do. But hey ho. So then the last game was Lancaster City away, or at the Lancashire FA County Ground.
My boxers are still drying out.
It's the wettest game I've ever been at.
What an awful ground to be wet at.
There was no shelter, was there?
Nobody wanted to be there.
I had a bit of shelter, but the rain was coming in at an angle, so I eventually knocked on the head filming it because it would have just destroyed the video camera, and just hooked up a waterproof GoPro.
I don't reckon that ground would be Northern Premier League ground grading.
It's incredible, though, as a business facility. I didn't really look as a ground grading. I guess we would. So so for ground grading, the stand is nearly complete, isn't it, of ours?
Yeah. But I noticed on the Atherton residence page yesterday, somebody put a big panorama shot of the town on there, and it looked to me like they were doing stuff on the pitch.
Yes. There is some drainage.
Yeah, it looked like diagonal drainage across all the centre of the pitch going in.
Yeah,
that's... Do you know any more about that?
Well, I did speak to Welshie the other day, and he said that they're doing exactly that, put some drainage in. Paul Gregory did say that in his statement that any money that we get coming in now will go to drainage. So, there's work going on to improve the pitch.
Yeah, because that money that did come in got over $2,000, and that actually did help to finish off the ground grading job.
Massively.
We wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise because we had no income coming into the club or being shut.
Well.
Because we were meant to be playing South Shields that week, and that would have been one of your biggest home crowds of the whole season.
I think we had 8 league games left to go, and an Integro Cup game as well, and the next round could have been at home. So it could be talking 10 or 11 games. All that revenue's gone, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm talking just specifically that week. We needed that money to get that job done.
Yeah.
We knew we had 3 home games to bank on, which would have paid for it.
Yes.
And then suddenly it's gone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
where do we come? And everybody who's donated, they helped out their club then. We even had people from other clubs helping us out too.
We did, which is fantastic. Yeah. Shout out to the guy from Scarborough.
Yeah, the one from Ramsbottom too.
Yeah, thanks to those.
Even Cleggy donated.
Very nice of him. A lot of clubs are funding, aren't they, for the revenue they've lost. We were doing that because we sort of got in there first, didn't we?
But we've done it for a completely different reason. There are a lot of clubs in our league who are fundraising to keep the club alive, and other than maybe ground rent, I don't know what they're paying.
Well, a lot of clubs have staff, don't they?
Yeah, but
I don't know if you can furlough those. I don't know.
A, how? And B, why?
Well, I did read in the Cone thing when I was reading about Cone that they have 16 staff on PAYE. So I don't know who they are.
But does that include players?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Which they won't be paying them now.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think Nantwich, for example, they were going about furloughing staff. I think it's just a different world, but then at the same time, it's not.
And this is our world. This is the level we're at, isn't it? That a lot of these clubs have ambitions, as we keep saying, to be in the levels above.
But I mean, South Shields, I can accept. Scarborough, I can accept. They've got large communities around them, where they can go and do. But then other clubs, you think, what? It's taken something like this to happen. You think you are spending an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
And what are you achieving?
What I understand is that clubs are signing people now.
You can't. Because registrations aren't open for the next season, so we don't know when it's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. And then you don't know when it's happening. You can't commit that revenue, surely not. There's teams announcing. I don't know the ins and outs. There's people announcing players. So I don't think we will be in any sort of rush.
No, we've got our feet up.
Well, we have. It is very strange having so much time on your hands. I can't even go to the club because it's about 8 miles away and it's not essential travel. So I haven't been there since the Grantham game. Sorry, I did go to help out with the stand concrete. We're shifting some concrete. That was the last.
I did some cross hatching.
You did on the Saturday, didn't you? That was really good. Fun.
It's another job I've learned.
Well,
maybe in 50 years time I'll be on top of some stands.
After the Grantham game, I took the kit home and washed it. That's another job that I've never done before. So next season, what do you have any thoughts about next season? When it eventually, assuming it starts.
Honestly, it could be the point where, like you were saying, Stafford, for instance, could get a couple of players in, and they could be a mid-table side. You could have a club such as Nantwich or Matlock who are fighting to save their club, who they might be down at the bottom next season. It's just there's a lot of clubs claiming that they're struggling and things at the moment, and so much could change up until then, couldn't it?
I think hopefully all the clubs get through this, and that we have a full complement of teams. But clubs
will get through this, but I don't. If they don't, I don't have much sympathy.
I see what you mean. I just think it's unique times, isn't it? And it's very difficult to plan for something like this.
You should be able to plan where your income each week is your outgoings each week.
Yeah, but like you say, your fixed costs of ground rent and, you know, electricity, water, whatever they may be.
Well, you won't be using electricity or water.
Well, there's certain fixed costs, isn't there? But yeah.
Yeah, there's rent. Rent's your main one.
Yeah. I think that sponsorship next season is going to be tricky to get money in. Companies will have tight purse strings next season. It's a challenge we'll all have. I think we'll have to work extra hard on that front.
It's whether the clubs with the money men will be even more successful next season against clubs like ours who are just based purely on sponsorship from the local community.
Yeah, but then it's only one up, isn't it? So, you see, I mean, South Shields are still doing deliveries of Carveries. So, someone there has got a business mind, a sharp business mind.
You've got to keep us somehow.
Yeah, you have. And so you fully expect them to be up there next season. So will these clubs? I mean, I read something today that Baseford won 2 promotions in 3 years. So I just thought, good luck to them.
I don't think anybody in Baseford will be bothered.
Well, you do have a point, and I think you've hit the nail on the head there. That 2,000 South Shields fans propel the club, don't they, to the top of the league financially, unless you're extremely rich. So, I don't know. We just don't know, do we, what it's going to be like next season. I think budgets across the board myself are going to be cut.
I don't think they will.
I think they've got to be.
No, because if 10 clubs cut the budget, you'll just have players going to the clubs who aren't cutting budgets.
Yeah, but there's only so many spaces, isn't there?
Well, they could go down a division if there's clubs paying more there.
Yeah, true. No, yeah, good point.
You could see that happening.
Yeah, good point.
You could see a lot of Northern Prem players going into the top half of the North West counties.
Yes. And it saves you an awful lot of time and effort.
Which would be great for the North West counties, because I think there's been a bit of a vacuum of talent and the bigger clubs in that league in the last 2 or 3 years. And I'm not saying that with any disrespect to those clubs who are there, because there are some big clubs in that league. But when you look at the core of the teams who were in there when we were in there, I do think they've lost some of the better supported, more infrastructured teams in that league. So it'd be quite interesting to see if players do drop down, if they're able to fund it a bit better.
Well, there is. If the season runs again, it's 4 teams go up from the North West counties. So yeah.
And even I think I followed the North West counties more than the Northern Premier League even in the past season. And there's clubs there who are all in with a shout of going up.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting.
It's a shame to see Bootle not going up again, though.
Oh. The Bootle aren't going up because somebody in China's at a bat.
At a bat. Scranned a bat, so you can't get away from that. So.
I know we're having a laugh. I do feel a bit sorry for Bootle, though. They're a bit like Runcorn Town as well. They're always there. They're always banging on the door trying to get into the Northern Prem. It's a bit like Linnetsworth for a bit as well. They always just fall short or something happens to them.
It's a disaster. But there's always next season.
Because Bootle, I think they were going up, weren't they, until they'd won... I mean, don't quote me on it, but haven't they won something like 20 games in a row at the end of last season?
Yeah, the City of Liverpool get a draw or something.
And they just needed to win, didn't they, the last game?
Yeah.
And they ended up drawing or losing. I can't remember what it was. But you just think, oh, wow. And then for this to happen as well,
it's fate. I think a lot of people in football are saying that, aren't they? Every year it's something, and it must be hard to pick yourself up from that and go on. Whereas we're raring to go for next season without feeling hard done to.
And another club, for instance, 1874 Northwich, a lot of their fans have been complaining. I think they've walked the league.
Yeah.
They should go up, but if you've walked the league, what's do it again next season?
There is that.
Because I think when we were in the Northwest Counties, if you'd have said to us, you have to do it again next season, we'd have been disappointed, but we'd have been like, you know what, let's go and do it again.
Yeah.
I think we'd have, well up for it.
It's strange times, isn't it? And there's much more important things than football, so I'm just going to turn the light on. Hang on a sec. It's got a bit dark here. Yeah, won't affect you.
I can see you now.
Yeah. Despite having all these cameras, I haven't got a webcam. Lucky Joe can't see me. You'll be able to watch this later and see me.
Are you going to look like one of those sign language people in front of me?
I've actually got a lottery winners t-shirt on as well.
Ah. So this is the only football shirt I have with me in York.
Betis.
Yes.
Puta. I went to Seville once, and all I can remember was a wall just had Betis Puta written on it. I assume from Seville fans. So, how is York to finish off? Are you staying there for the summer?
I've been up here. I did 2.5 weeks after I had to finish work, and then I had to nip home and get my laptop so I can work again, because I'm having to do school stuff. So I nipped back, got my medication, got my laptop, and then I've come back again. And we've run about our 10th game of Monopoly. So yeah.
Do you have any tips? Do you if you haven't got a Monopoly set to hand, do you have any tips for things to do with your time?
Ooh, well, let me finish on Monopoly first.
Yeah.
Back in day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're in my pocket. No, but we thought we're bored of playing Monopoly, so now we're walking the Monopoly board.
Jesus.
So we did the Brown properties today.
Okay, road-esque.
Or we did Treasurer's House, which is near the Minster, and then Merchants Hall. And then we're doing the light blue ones tomorrow. So the next stop on our walk is the National Railway Museum.
Rock and roll, been there. Rock and roll.
But yeah, things doing your time. I've been doing a bit of blogging. I've got back into that again because I'm not having to do school stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm not having to do the Coles programme.
Yeah.
Because any energy I did have for writing about football, I had to do the Coles programme.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying writing what I want to write about at the minute.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what else. I downloaded a Star app last night so I could have a look at.
Oh, the sky was clear, wasn't it?
Yes, that was really good. And it's I think the sky's a lot clearer up here than it is at home.
There's a lack of pollution as well, isn't there? Because people are driving around.
Well, York's less polluted than Greater Manchester anyway.
Yeah.
There's not as much light pollution either because there's not a load of bigger buildings.
Yeah.
So that's quite good. Just been walking up and down the river.
Did you watch on Facebook replay last night, Baseford against Atherton Collieries?
No.
No, I didn't.
No.
I couldn't be bothered. It was filmed out of a window of a Porter cabin.
Well, I don't know what I did watch last night. I watched Quiz. That was good.
Yeah.
Have you got any tips?
Well, I've been decorating, but I think everyone's doing that, aren't they?
Yeah.
And gardening. So
My bedroom.
you did. That was before, wasn't it?
I think it was at the beginning. I thought it needs doing, and I can see where the world's going.
Yes.
So I rushed out and got it done.
I mean, stuff like compost now is worth more than its weight in gold. Paint and paintbrushes and whatever. They're the actual things you can't get hold of anymore.
in hindsight, I should have bought my laminate flooring and then saved that when I did get really bored.
Well, I've got a hard drive that's got all our games this season, pretty much.
Don't talk to me about hard drives.
Oh, you've lost one, haven't you?
Well,
not lost one.
It's knackered. I've managed to get most of the stuff off, but I've lost about 6 months worth of photos.
Ouch.
So I've lost my trip to Betis, all my photos from that. My trip to Glentoran in Belfast, the best ground I've ever been to, lost them. Lost my trip to Hammarby. Lost quite a bit, really, so I'm a bit gutted about that.
You could always go back.
I can't, I've tried.
You can't get flights anymore, can you?
Oh, so. I thought you meant do like a system restore my laptop.
No, not a backup. I mean, you could always go back to Hammarby and Glentoran. And...
I can, but it's not the same, is it?
Well, you've got the memories. Do you need the photographs?
Yes.
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 So, I think, should we do another episode at the end of the season when we've done all the awards and stuff like that? See if we can come up with something.
I don't know if we'll be able to do it, but maybe do the awards over Skype.
Well, that's what I was thinking, if we could do something like that, but I'm not very technical, so we might have to get Zoom up and running.
What do you mean you're not technical?
Well, in stuff like this, it took us 15 minutes to get Skype up and running, didn't it? So if we can get all the players nominated on Zoom or something like that, and a gold envelope, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll have a think.
Okay.
We've got the goal of the season poll up and running, I think. So you can read into that the way that we've worded it, the goal of the season. We are counting this season, aren't we, as existing definitely. In terms of stats.
I mean, the way I was thinking of phrasing it is, are you going to say that Michael Brewster never played for Coles and never scored that goal against Boston United?
Yeah. No. Did I not drive up to Morpeth on a Tuesday night for a game that didn't happen? You can't take that away. It clearly happened, and those games were competed, for, and they can't.
No, I do think that the biggest example though is Brewster, because he's only played this season.
Yeah.
If you were to wipe it, there's no record of him ever playing for the...
Yeah, did Jordan Boone play for us?
Yeah. So...
Is Kobe a record modern-day goal scorer?
It's all in the archives and the stats that my dad does anyway.
Yeah.
He's counting it.
Yeah.
And he's already set up the spreadsheets for next season.
Yeah. I think that's the important thing, is that people might be interested in. Are we counting all that? The people that pay attention to the stats, or maybe the players who were involved in the stats. We are retaining it.
I think when they say null and void, the only thing really null and void is what happens to that table.
Yeah, exactly.
The table's there, but then just nothing happens. That's null and void, really.
Yeah, I think that's my take on it as well. So null and void. Shall we cut there then?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Joe, and take care of yourself. And
you too.
Goodbye. Right, I'll turn it over.
Bye.
Cheers, Joe. See you later.